Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to talk about my TBR for the Reading Rush 2020. If you don't know what the Reading Rush is a challenge which takes place from the 20th to the 26th of July, in which you have got 1 week to read books that are assigned to certain challenges. Within those 7 challenges, you have got to find 1 to 7 books to read during this week. This challenge was created by Ariel and Raylene, and I'm going to link the original challenge video down below. So now to the books that I have picked for this challenge. I have not tried to play myself dirty again, and therefore I'm not gonna pick 7 books, because in no way I will be able to read 7 books in a week, no matter how thin they are. So I try to combine those challenges as best as I can, and hopefully I will be able to succeed in a challenge this time. So the first challenge is read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. And since I was born in September, my birthstone is a sapphire, and I chose The Catcher in the Rye for this. I know it looks kind of black, but it's actually a pretty dark blue. Right now, when I'm looking at it, I'm not even sure if it is a blue. Maybe it's a black. Hell. Anyways, I'm very tired, so I'm not quite sure if this is a blue or a black, but I was so convinced that this is just a very dark blue that I took it for the challenge. And I'm gonna combine it with the second challenge, which is read a book that starts with the word "the" in the title. And literally, this is, I think, the only one that I possess. Most of my books, or at least half of them, are German, so I can already exclude them. And the other ones are not starting with "the." That was basically the only one, so I'm gonna take this and just claim that it's very dark blue. So those are my first 2 challenges. The third one is read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen. And if you're not familiar with the story to the book that I chose, I'm gonna fill you in whether you care or not, because the book I chose is 1984. I tried to read this book for the last month's reading challenge and I failed. I didn't even touch it. But basically, my English teacher, after she gave us this book as a reading assignment, decided that when the due date was over, she was gonna watch the movie with us, but I wasn't through with the book. I thought I wasn't in danger of not reading it. I'm gonna take my time. But I wouldn't have if I had known that we would watch the movie, because after that I had no tendency in finishing the book. So this also takes me to the 4th challenge, which is read the first book you touch. This was, no joke, actually the first book that I touched when I thought about challenge. I wanted to move a book, and by trying to get to the book, I accidentally touched this one. So, what a coincidence, because it fits very well actually. Okay, 5th challenge. Read a book completely outside of your house. I'm going to do that. I am normally actually somebody who reads a lot while I am outside, while I'm on my way to something. I'm jumping in the metro and opening a book and reading. And I think that I could actually do that for a whole book, especially if it's like a thinner one, which all of those that I picked are. So I actually don't know which one it will be now, but it will be one of them that I picked. So 6th challenge. Read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. I think in the video they phrased it like a genre that scares you, or your least read genre. And I'm going for poetry with this one, because especially English poetry is something that scares me, since I don't think that I can detect all the nuances or the word plays, or that I will not be able to see what a lyrical masterpiece something is. So that's why I'm going for poetry. Also, I like poetry, but I actually haven't read it that much. So I should definitely do that more. And this one is one that I have owned for a couple of years, has actually helped me through a rough time in a long distance relationship, because the author herself had a long distance relationship to somebody. So I thought, like, why not finish this? It's nice and thin and it has like poems. And I thought, like, why not choose this one? So on to the 7th and final challenge, which is read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. I live in Europe, and I do have a lot of books that are not set in Europe. But none of them are those. This is set in an alternative universe, so I thought it wouldn't count. This one I have actually no clue if it's set in America or not. And I couldn't find it out by the descriptions without spoiling myself. So I left it as something that I didn't know, and I picked another book. Oh yeah, and this one is, the author is actually from the Philippines, but she had a long distance relationship to somebody from Switzerland, and she's talking about this relationship, so I thought it was technically not suitable. So I went with The Parade by Dave Eggers, which is set in America, as far as I know. So this one is also quite thin. It has nice big font, so I thought that it would make a nice 4th book and completion of the whole challenge. So this is my TBR. This is what I'm going to read in one of the final weeks of July, and that's it. I have nothing more to say, so bye!